Congresswoman DeGette of Colorado. Congresswoman DeGette, thank you for your time tonight. And I guess I want to pick up that point because this is sort of the forgotten fight. And if it's forgotten, it's because the fight really just hasn't been waged. But it seems to me we talk so much about how much Republicans were able to, I'll try to hesitate to use the term sequester here, but how much Republicans have been able to reduce the size of government and the scope of government through the sequester. And what's sort of forgotten here is if the government reopens, the sequester is still in place. That's not part of this fight. Did Democrats make a mistake here? Did your party make a mistake by not having that fight as part of the shutdown battle?
Well, the problem is that the Republicans have insisted on putting this completely irrelevant issue, one that they know the White House won't compromise, one that they know that the Senate won't compromise on, and that's the Affordable Care Act. It has nothing to do with the budget. And so now a lot of people are saying, well, you know what, just take the so-called clean CR, but it's not clean at all because it does have the sequester in it.
But you, Congressman, it seems like you've ended up in a situation, I don't know if this was by grand design on their part or just sort of a happy coincidence for them, but you've ended up in a place where exactly what you're describing is happening. Wow, this is so spectacularly unreasonable. Fine, have your sequester. We just want Obamacare to be left alone. We just want the government to open. We just don't want a debt default. Should Democrats have been applying more pressure the other way so that the terms are not that the terms are actually, oh, and by the way, do something about the sequester too?
Well, don't forget, this CR is only 6 weeks. It only goes till the middle of November. In my opinion, what we should be saying is, okay, you can have your sequester for 6 weeks. But in the meantime, you've got to reopen the government and you have to raise the debt ceiling with no limits without putting all of these ridiculous extraneous issues on the debt ceiling, too, like they're talking about. So for 6 weeks, if we can open the government and do that and come up with what our appropriators call really a grand bargain, which is a budget for 2014, that would make a lot of sense to me. And even I, someone who vociferously opposed the sequester from day one, I would hold my nose and vote for a 6-week extension, but I'm not going to hold my nose and vote for anything more than that.
Well, actually, we were talking with Robert Costa about this earlier, the idea maybe sort of, we're not sure yet, that Republicans and that John Boehner are open to pursuing some kind of grand bargain. Again, you look at the history of John Boehner and the Republicans on the lines they've drawn on this, which is basically absolutely no new revenue. Do you think if those talks reopen again in any way, do you think anything is going to be different in terms of the Republican bottom line, which is absolutely no new revenue, which sort of blows up this whole idea of the grand bargain?
Well, actually, a lot of the people I'm talking to on a private basis think that the only way out of this box is a grand bargain. Because if you look at the effect of the sequester on the National Institutes of Health, on all of the programs that we care about for our districts, Head Start for the kids and for seniors programs, the only way out of this sequester, which gets very much worse on January 1st, 2014, is by doing a grand bargain. And more people are privately talking about that. So in a way, as much as I abhor this shutdown and think that it's really political malpractice, in a way, I think it may be the path towards a much bigger issue. And you know what I tell my Republican friends is, I say, look, if your business community wants this, your constituents want this, what they want is certainty for a year, not just for 6 weeks, not just for 2 weeks, not just till the debt ceiling comes up, because they want to know that they can hire employees and that we will have a federal government operating and that we will be paying the debts of our government. And so that's what people want to see.
All right, Congresswoman DeGette of Colorado, thanks for your time tonight. We appreciate it.
Thanks.